Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is Jamie with Keene Point of View, the intersection of gay issues, politics, and Christianity. In political news this week, everyone is on about the NSA using Verizon for collecting phone conversation records of Americans. Some people are shocked and disappointed in America. Some people like me never thought the United States was above infringing on the civil liberties of its citizens because of things like slavery, Jim Crow, the need for women's suffrage, the Civil Rights Act, Prohibition, Watergate, wiretapping Jane Fonda for supporting the Viet Cong, and a proposed federal anti-gay marriage amendment, the Patriot Act, warrantless wiretapping the entire Bush administration, and Danny Glover not being able to be in any hit movies since hugging Hugo Chavez and having to turn to the government of Venezuela to fund his movie that he wants to make about Toussaint Louverture. So that really didn't surprise me. It surprised me that it leaked and got out and confirmed, but I'm like, I'm not shocked. Also, people are still interviewing Mitt Romney for some insane reason. Who cares about Mitt Romney anymore but Mitt Romney? In Christian news, this week I wrote an open letter to atheists on my blog, thanking the rational ones with whom I can engage a discussion of religion, particularly Christianity, and asking angry ones to at least correctly place their anger on people who wronged them and not necessarily an institution. Finally, asking fake atheists who are just fronting to stop fronting. Some of y'all still believe in God. And I like to thank specifically Monty and Taja for being atheists who responded rationally to my blog. You both made me re-examine and clarify what I wrote, and I do feel more firmly rooted in what I believe and wrote. And I do thank you for the discussion, which got lively with Taja, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. But I just want to let you know that one more drink and I'm gonna lay in you. And stupid Christian news, a man in Texas this week just got his case in court ruled not guilty. You want to know what he thanked God for at the press conference? He thanked Almighty God for getting him off on a case where he shot an escort he booked off of Craigslist because she took one look at him, took the $150 he offered and paid for it to have sex and said, I ain't doing it, and walked out of the room. Now, on her way out, he shot her in the neck. She wound up being paralyzed and died a few months later. Whew! And I just have an issue with this man invoking the Lord in the murder of a sex worker who stiffed him for a subpar Craigslist hookup. Speaking of sex hookups and gay news, I hope that y'all don't lose your minds this weekend in DC and Los Angeles, because guess what? It's Gay Pride weekend! Woo-hoo! Okay, this is annoying. Well, I'm kind of jealous that LA gets Sierra and the Pointer Sisters, and we get a group who performed poorly at the Billboard Awards. What's most importantly is that Billy Wynn will be there, and that is who I am going to see, and you should too. If you're going to go all the way with your fun, I would encourage you to wrap it up so it doesn't get clapped up, because gonorrhea is on the rise and we're in our last antibiotic for that STD in the world, and Japan has a superbug that is resistant to any antibiotic for it, and that will surely spread worldwide soon. So please be responsible. Let's everyone just stop having sex for a while until all this gets sorted out. Yeah. We're not going to do that, are we? No. Anywho, in other gay news, apparently in Prince George's County in Maryland near Iverson Mall, there are some straight men who are shirtless and buff and wear basketball shorts and have pokage in two particular areas in the basketball shorts, and that is attractive to some other men who go there because these straight men don't have any jobs and they don't have a lot of money, but they offer good sex to gay bottoms in exchange for payments. This is President Obama's fault. It's not enough, Mr. President, that black people twice gave you a chance at an 8-year job and you took it. And you can't even help these men get a legitimate job, so now they have to resort to blowing the backs out of other men in order to make some mumbo sauce money. Tavis Smiley and Cornel West tried to tell you about the plight, but you didn't invite them to the inauguration or the White House twice. And that resorted to them having to take a bus tour to poor people to let the poor people know that they are indeed poor, but Tavis and Cornel are not. I just have a question. Is anyone managing these straight men? Because if not, I have some bills that could be paid, but I would indeed faithfully pay my 10% tithe in church. Before God knocks me down to the second level of hell right now, let me close. Once again, this is Jamin with Keene Point of View, the intersection of gay issues, politics, and Christianity. Go ahead and check out the blog this week, keenepointofview.com. On the blog this week, I have an open letter to atheists. As I mentioned earlier, I blogged about the case against Republicans and Christians in America being defined as the same thing. I also talked about the woman who heckled Michelle Obama on Tuesday night and why she shouldn't mess with Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama, who is black, wraps her hair in a nylon scarf at night before she goes to sleep, and is from Southside Chicago. Finally, I blogged about the NSA wiretapping everybody in the country. Also, let me just say this. There is a certain someone on Twitter who has legally taken action against a friend of mine. I just want to let him know that the person involved has not talked about you since January. So I don't know if it's because you're not brought up that you feel offended that you should be brought up. I don't understand what the problem is. Taking a lawsuit out on someone for something that they're not doing is harassment. Once again, happy Friday, happy weekend, happy Pride Month, and happy Gay Pride Week in DC and LA. Happy Pride to all my gays. Love you much. Take care.